Kind of looks like a little ding-a-ling. Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back. So I got a couple updates and I'm working on the fuel system today, so I did end up getting an intake. I'm excited about this. A local guy, subscriber, guy I've been talking to for a while, was selling 2 intakes. One of them was the exact one that I needed, and we got to talking about it and he gave me a really good deal on it, so I couldn't pass it up. I didn't really want to buy one, but he ended up giving me a very good deal on it, so scooped it up right away. So thank you if you're watching. And he has a YouTube channel actually, and I'll put it right here. And smaller channel, he's adding a couple videos here and there, but he's got a really cool Volvo, LS swap Volvo, and the thing is very nice. Went to go see it today, and I think maybe one of these days we'll get together and do some videos of that car. The thing is really nice, really cool. So fuel system, doing the Walbro 450. Alright, so got the interior all taken apart, and by interior I mean just the fuel hat. So took all that stuff out. I'm pretty much done with this already. Basically what I did was pull it out of the bucket and just gutted the entire thing. I just cut it open. I'll do a little closer look on it after I'm done soldering up these wires, and I'll put it in the basket. We'll get going on the soldering. I did some superhero stuff, and I actually put the heat shrink on before I started soldering. This time it's pretty cool when you do that. It works pretty good. And I did sit down and start soldering this before, and the iron wasn't plugged in. I'm not that far off. Fuel system, I got the injector adapters, so I'll be able to put the injectors on. I gotta plug the computer in yet and then hook the foot pedal up, because I did end up changing, when I did the drive-by cable setup before, I modified the pedal and ended up kind of hacking it up and ended up just buying a new pedal. Should really get a new soldering iron one of these days. This thing has seen its days and it doesn't really work that good anymore. Just like that, pull the heat shrink over. How well this will hold up inside the tank with the 85. We'll see. It should do pretty good. I'm just gonna grab the torch. Probably could have did one size, maybe a size a little bit smaller. Oh yeah, that was hot. Imagine that. So essentially what I did was take the hat. This is the feed, the normal feed. I'm using this as the return, and this is just kind of open on the bottom. And I might actually run like a fitting inside here and a hose down. But there's a bulkhead fitting to a dash 8, and I'm doing dash 8 preparing for 2 pumps later on. Just gonna do 1 for now. So what I actually did was modify the end of the pump so it goes inside the dash 8 fitting, and then I just used a dash 6 push lock hose, pushed it over the dash 8 push lock fitting so it's still tight on the bottom side. So it's pretty tight on there, but this hose was a little bit bigger inner diameter for a dash 6 push lock, where it kind of slid off the push lock fittings for the dash 6 pretty easily. So I think it's just some cheap hose or something like that, but it's supposed to be submersible, E85 compatible, just some cheap stuff, so we'll see how that works. And yeah, this used to be like the filter and all this other stuff, and I just literally just chopped it all out of there and soldered the wires back on, and I should be able to assemble it. Alright, so clean it up for me, which isn't saying much. Alright, so I did put the factory pump screen back on. And this goes over the top like this. The spring goes here, the spring goes here, and I should be able to get this down to where it will compress all the way. Alright, so I fixed the little, there's a spring inside the pump screen. The spring was twisted sideways, so now I can compress this thing most of the way. And I'm just going to put all the wiring and stuff back in the right spot, and then we'll toss it in and make sure it's actually going to collapse far enough to be able to sit inside the tank. All right. Let's see what we got done today. Let's go down the list. We will cross off some things. Solder the 12-volt wire, I did that. Fuel pressure regulator, did that. Injectors, I did fuel pump. Fitting hose, I don't know what that means. I think I'm going to cross it off. Still got some things to do. Didn't do shifter linkage, but I did do the heater hose loop. I got that done. Alrighty, so here's where we are now. I did get the turbo blankets today, so that's actually pretty cool. So those are all on and mounted. I'm still waiting on the 45 fittings instead of doing the straight fitting or the... I was going to do these straight fittings here. I think I talked about that before, but I'm going to do a 45. I'm going to try those, see how they fit for the drains. So I'm going to do like 45 coming out to here and then a 45 back up into that. I'm going to see how that works. If it looks good and I like it, I'll put them on. But these are on. Still have to do the boost reference lines, put the throttle body on the new intake. This is all set up. I did build this little guy right here. Look at this little aluminum map sensor hold down bracket. So that thing actually works pretty cool. I just took a chunk of 3/16 aluminum, chopped it out with a bandsaw, and kind of looks like a little ding-a-ling, but holding the thing down, pretty cool. Had to cut a new bracket for the fuel rail because I don't know where that fourth one went. I had 3 of them, and not sure what happened to the other one. I think I might have used it on the truck because I tried a couple different settings and set up a bunch of different stuff. So got the LS2 intake on, got the steam vent port line thingy on there. Still got to get an oil filter. Got the harness pretty much ran to where I want it. Still have to do coil packs, plugs and wires. Still got to hook up the grounds. I got the fuel pressure regulator done. Check out the fuel pressure regulator. I'm just going to kind of leave it sitting exactly where it's at. Had this little dash 8 to dash 8 female 90 from the truck when I pulled that out. And just kind of went up and over. Chopped this side down. This one did go from this side to this side before. And I just kind of cut it a little bit shorter. Did a 90 in over to here. Be able to hook up the boost reference. Then I do have this dash 6 return line going down and back over. So that's all looking pretty schnifty. So this plug right in here to the throttle body. Did solder the wire back here that I was talking about. So that stuff's all good. This is all plugged in. I pretty much just have to hook up the power, plug in the computer. I want to put another quart of oil in it, put the transmission fluid, then I should be good to fire it. I think I'm going to wait until I get the intercooler and turbo cold side piping on first after I do the turbo oil drains. I thought about just starting it and then trying to run these into a bucket, but those are in Indiana, so those should be here in like a day. So I think I got some other stuff I can do. I still got to do the throttle pedal, but other than that, the whole fuel system should be done. I haven't tried to prime it yet. I still got to tighten some of the fittings. These are all just kind of in there hand tight, but just mocked up. I should be able to tip that thing forward a little bit and clear the hood. And read pressure. I didn't hook it up to the computer yet. I don't have a sensor for it. I do have a line for the sensor. I think it was this guy right here. I think it was that one. It was one of them. So the car is actually set up for a fuel pressure sensor. It's got a gauge pod on the pod thing, the thingy dingy there. So should be all set up. And yeah, then it's just welding the water neck on to the radiator, figuring out a bottom heater hose. We should be pretty decent, but wanted to get an update for you guys. Did it in my PJs. I'm barefoot. Hey, look at that. But have a good night. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.